My name is Erika Mccullum. This is my wife Erika.
Hey guys.
And this is our 15 minutes.
Hi, my name is Carmen Carter, and this is my 15 minutes.
I was born here in Joliet, born and raised here in Joliet, Illinois. Grew up here, went to Joliet West High School, and had a really decent childhood. Really blessed, really fortunate childhood. I don't have like a huge background of a lot of struggle and different things like that. And so I would say that we've been blessed and fortunate in that regard. And actually grew up as a pastor's kid. So I was the one front row every Sunday, and went to Joliet West High School. Really grew a love and a passion for sports, and played high school football, and that led me to be able to get a scholarship at the University of St. Francis. So I only actually played 1 year of college football, and I really hated that. They wouldn't let me play while I was younger, and they said I was too small. So finally I got to play my senior year, got a scholarship to play college football, and then from there I went and got into semi-pro football and did that for 6 years, and just an extremely awesome experience. Had dreams and desires of being able to go pro, and realized that wasn't going to happen, and so got to the point where I was like, man, I got to figure out what in the world I'm going to do with myself. And so
Hey guys, I'm Erika Mccullum. I was born in Abidjan, West Africa, Ivory Coast, and raised in Palatine, Barrington area, so further up north in Illinois. I was raised by a single parent, my mom, and I have an older sister named Adrian. Just us, really close-knit, all three of us growing up, middle class, just trying to make ends meet with my mother, working on her own, had 2 jobs, just an amazing mom and example for us. Didn't have a father in my life, so that was something that I went through in my childhood, my experiences. But my mom taught us to always remain pure and to work hard for what we want. So my high school experience, I did sports, I did track and field, cross country, I played soccer. I was on a lot of soccer clubs, so travel clubs, things like that. Really had a passion for the sport. And played, varsity. Didn't get into it in college when I decided to, because I realized I had a love for teaching and just really wanted to give my heart to students and plant seeds for the future. So I went to.
So we met in it was 2010.
2010.
Met in 2010.
Fall of 2010.
Like she said, it was a blind date, and I've never been the blind date type, just because I think I've watched too much TV, and usually blind dates don't really go well. There was a show called Blind Date on MTV where they had like 3 people, and I forget the name of it. Anyway, so that was my type of mentality, and so I told her, I was like, no way. They had just had her and her husband, they had just had a baby, and my goal was to try to get down there and see the baby and visit. Hadn't seen them since they went down there to Bloomington. And she said, so I was like, all right, well, I don't do the whole blind date thing. I was like, you got to send me a picture. Like, I'm not going down there without seeing what she looks like. And so she sent me a picture, and I was like, cool, let's run it. And so I was like, I'll be down there next weekend. I think it was like two more weeks before I finally got down there. And we've been on ever since.
He did good.
Ever since. So it was a good deal. So we're down in Chicago. So everything started there, and the photographer Wayne McNair, shout outs to Wayne McNair, we had a picnic set up and all this other type of stuff. And I'm like, oh, look at the little, the setup for the model shoot, the photo shoot. So he was like, Jay, I'll just be natural. So we eating snacks. Now, my mom and them had made the picnic. We eating snacks and treats and berries and stuff.
And I had dressed up because he's like, hey, you might be able to get some of these shots. So I was like, okay, cool.
So we she don't know nothing. So we get up, we go for a walk, and we walk along the beach, North Avenue Beach. And while we're walking north, my mom and my cousin are behind me, and they're putting these signs in the sand. Now, meanwhile, Wayne is going around taking pictures and stuff. What ends up happening is we turn around to come back towards the gazebo, and there's the signs. So as we walk in, she started to see these signs. She was like these signs weren't here, and they're all colorful and bright. And they just had like different events like in our life. Like I had wrote this letter. And she read it. While she was reading it, Wayne was video recording. All these people gathered around. It was like, is this the Bachelor? Is this the Bachelor?
That's so funny.
And proposed right there.
Amazing.
And then she said yes. She did not respond this time. She said yes.
Said yes, in tears. And then all of our family and friends were waiting on a Mystic Blue cruise ship. Yeah. And we partied the night away.
We had to get on a horse to get us there, though. We had a horse carriage ride.
Had a carriage ride that took us there.
To the boat.
Can't forget that. He did good.
So this is where it got crazy. So leading up to that, I was working in a warehouse. You had just finished school, and you were doing student teaching up north, right?
Yes.
And like a month after I proposed, I got fired from my job. And I'm like, oh man, like how in the world am I gonna take care of a family? I'm like, see, this is why I need to be my own boss. And so just that whole time of like trying to save money, we had set a date, trying to find a new job. I was personal training a little bit, but that business hadn't really taken off yet. And that's when Josh Lindsay came into play, and that's when I started to really learn more about entrepreneurship and different things like that. And so we came to a crossroads where it was like, do we go into this field or do we stay in this field? And
because he had a love for both things. So we had to determine, okay, what is your greatest passion here, and where can we have the greatest impact, and how can we provide for our family in doing so and involve them in the process, in our journey. And that's where we decided that Herbalife Nutrition was the best fit for us as a family.
But how did you feel? Because I remember telling you, I'll never forget, we were riding down Route 59, and I was like, man, I think I want to make the transition from the finance and asset management industry into the global nutrition industry. And you wasn't really feeling that at first.
At first, because life is all about relationships for me, and we've built so many amazing relationships in that company in Primerica, where I didn't want to leave that commitment. I didn't see the new steps coming, and I didn't really see the full vision of what we could have in Herbalife Nutrition. So with it, I didn't want to hurt those people that we were connected to still and feel like a failure in that area and leave that area. But you have to always decide what is going to be best for me, and you have to say no to some people and some things sometimes, even if we think that it was the best in the moment, but it wasn't.
So we made the decision to make the jump, and we joined with Herbalife Nutrition. And at the same time, it just fit because I was looking to be able to start and open my own gym. And I was like, well, they just kind of go hand in hand together. Let's rock it and roll it. So we started in our garage, had just a few clients there.
While you were still a personal trainer.
Still a personal trainer at the gym I was working with. And it was so cool because the GM at the gym where I was working was so cool because he was helping me like get things started. He wasn't like, oh, you can't do both. You can't be here and there. He was just like, hey, because he was an entrepreneur himself. And so he was another huge influence. Shout outs to Eric Murph. He was a huge influence, and he like hired me for my first personal training gig, and then he was like showing me the ropes of like, you need to do this, that, and the other. And so big ups to him. And so we branched out, and the guy who introduced me to Herbalife, he said, hey, there's a location for those of you that's from Joliet over on Theodore Street, right in this corridor. I'm gonna have the nutrition club over here. You can open the space and y'all can do the workouts over there. And that's what we did. It just kind of happened. Like one day I went and he had the lease papers. He was like, we need to sign this. I was like, oh, like, so we about to do this.
Yeah,
And,
so we had signed up as distributors in Herbalife Nutrition, but mostly Nate was training his clients and then getting them on a meal plan. So now we actually had a physical space opened up to us through our upline, and we're now working out, having fit camps in a gym / nutrition club, which is called a 24 Fit Club in Herbalife language. Yes.
And so, so we did that, and that went like, it was very slow because we didn't know how to run a business. We, I'll never forget, I share the story all the time. Me and my guys, we was in there working out one day, like getting it in, music super loud, and the fire department inspector was going around, and he was inspecting the other units in the plaza, and he walked into our unit, he was like, how long has this been open? And I was like, oh, we've been here, a month or so. And he was like, did you guys get permits for this? And I had no idea about permits or nothing like that. Now we've been up and running. Like, we got people paying monthly memberships, and he put an orange sticker on the door, and he was like, y'all got to get out. Y'all can't operate until you get the necessary documents and stuff like that, which was a lot of money. And I'm like, oh man, like, what are we going to tell the people, etc. And
so a very humbling experience and a moment of growth for us.
Yeah.
Just as a husband and wife, and as coaches, and for our clients, just people that we knew, and really grew us into the business owners that we needed to be. Yeah.
And so we got all of that squared away, and then we were up and running. And again, everything was just a learning experience because I went to school for business, but I feel like going to school for business don't really prepare you for business. You know what I mean? And so, at least from the classes that I took and stuff. And so, just every day was a learning experience, like the health department, this, that, you know what I'm saying? Like all of these different things. And, but we made it through that. And, we started to grow. And I'm like, man, gee, we doing it. We still hadn't like reached the pinnacle of where we want to be like financially and stuff, but we were changing lives, which was huge. Like, people were getting results. And I'm like, man, we doing it. And this is when we really started to build the brand. Our name is House of Valor, and that really came out of when we started in the garage. We were Valor, Speed, and Strength. And then the guy who opened the nutrition club first, they took on part of the name, and they became Valor Nutrition. So what ended up happening was they decided that they didn't want to run the club anymore, and so we took it over. So we had both spaces and said, why not just put it all under one house? Instead of being Valor, Speed, and Strength, Valor Nutrition, let's just make it House of Valor.
Yeah.
And that's how House of Valor was birthed. Fast forward 3 years now to where we are right now. It's crazy. We got kicked out of the spot that we were in because we grew too big. And so
we were too loud.
I guess that's a decent problem to have. The only problem was every time that you got to move to a new level, because the space we were taking on was more money per month. And it was just like, man, we had to build it out. We had to have all this initial capital and stuff like that. So another, flame of fire that we had to get over across through. And, we prevailed through that. And so
yes, and all of that is with the mission of we are invested in the people that we're connected to. It wasn't just a business. We were invested in every single life that came to us, every single life that came to our fit camps, came in for a shake, a tea, energy tea, just people that supported us, and we wanted to help them grow, and in the process we ended up growing as well.
Yeah. And so it's been real sweet. So I guess plans for the future, we just look to continue to grow our team. So for anybody that's looking to start their own business, if you're single or if you don't have a business partner, I would say one, make sure that your vision is so clear. And I would say that create the type of be the type of individual that people don't mind being loyal to. Because when you got individuals that follow you, that are loyal to you, and they really believe in what it is that you're trying to do and what you're trying to create and produce, that's like the greatest resource ever that you can ever have. And so, and then for those that are couples that are, working business together, and this is something I'm still working on. Granted, this interview, communication is huge. And make sure, you just talk. and share what you feel, share, you know, all of that type of stuff. So
Yeah.
communication is huge.
Yes, you have to have a very clear people to join what you're doing or support it. And like Nate said, make the vision clear and you never give up on it.